Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we have Jef Rhodes from hard rock metal band Them Damn Kings.
What's happening?
I just wanted to start out by digging into some of your history. What got you into music, and what age did you start playing guitar?
Oh man, well, Ozzy Osbourne did it for me, man. That's I think he's done it for a lot of people, but yeah, I was oh man, probably 9, 10 years old when I heard Ozzy for the first time, and that was it, man. I got my guitar maybe a year later, 2 years later. I was probably 12, somewhere around then. Started playing when I was about 12, man, and here we are.
What song? Do you remember what song got you into Ozzy?
I'm pretty sure it was I don't remember particularly what song, but it was definitely No Rest for the Wicked album. Yeah, so I mean, it's funny because I'm a huge Randy fan, but I'm also a huge Zach fan. So it's kind of nifty that the first Ozzy stuff is Zach stuff, and being both from New Jersey, it works out.
My favorite guitar solo is from Zach. It's on No More Tears. That guitar solo is like completely awesome.
Oh man, I never really bothered learning that. I mean, it was the first Zach solo I ever learned was No More Tears, and it took me 20 years to finally do it, man. But now that whole record, that's like kind of my go-to warm up is the whole entire record. I'll sit there and jam out to the No More Tears record before I go and start playing or anything. But yeah, that was the first. Actually, I think that was the first Ozzy solo I ever learned was No More Tears, man, and it was just within the last couple of years too. I mean, like I said, Ozzy and Randy and Zach always been a big influence with me, but I've always kind of shied away from trying to be like them. But now I don't give a fuck. I love the way they play, and I just started learning everything. I used to be a massive, well, still am a massive Joe Satriani and Steve Vai fan, and I think when I first started playing, it was more along the lines of figuring out all the Joe Satriani and Steve Vai stuff, and it made it it's, I'd say it made it a lot easier, but for some reason, the Satriani and Vi stuff always came very naturally playing wise to me, and Zach and Randy were almost impossible, and it was weird. And then one day I woke up and I was like, I'm learning this fucking song, and I remember sitting in the back of the tour bus and I figured out the No More Tears solo, and then from there I learned the whole record, and I've learned the entire Ozzy catalog now. So,
You had Zach as influence. Who else were some of your musical influences?
well, I mean, Zach and Randy, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, definitely. Eric Johnson was a big one for me too. I remember sitting there when I was 14, 15, trying to learn Cliffs of Dover in school, man, and It's all I did all day long was sit there trying to learn that. So Eric Johnson's been a really big influence, also. And recently, Nuno Bentoncourt, man, like I really got back into his playing. He's fucking wild, man. Like I never really, you listen to kind of that stuff, and I've always been an '80s cat, man. I listen to Extreme and all that, and you never really thought about the complexity of what they were actually doing back then. And it's like He-Man, Woman Hater is. That took me a while to get that. Then I was listening to the riff. I'm like, what is he doing, man? And I sat there forever trying to pick the thing. I'm like, this guy's, and that's not what he's doing. I mean, in reality, like it's super simplistic what he's doing, but it's mind blowing, man. And it kind of really gave me a whole other outlook into a playing style. So, you know, I'd say those guys right now are probably the biggest influences, but it's always Randy and Zach is always stuck in my head.
Yeah, I remember my favorite song by Extreme was "Rest in Peace."
Yeah, man, that's a great tune. That's a great tune. That whole record, all their records were amazing, man. I really think, and again, I grew up listening to all that stuff, so.
Did you ever get to see the G3 tour with Satriani, Vi, and Eric Johnson together? Did you see that one?
No, I didn't see that one. Which I did see. This is years ago, man. I can't remember who it was. It was definitely Satriani and Steve Vai, but I can't remember for the life of me who was there. Also, I know I was there, but you know, I'm pretty sure I saw it at the Beacon Theater, and I knew everybody that worked there, and I'm sure I was getting free cocktails, and I may have missed a few things that night.
Okay. Um, can you tell me about the formation of them damn Kings?
I put my guitar down for a while, and I stopped. I wouldn't say I stopped playing, but really kind of stopped focusing on the band aspect of stuff for many years. Back when I was 17, 18, a friend of mine was selling a PA, and I ended up buying a PA, and it came with the club, and I started doing audio there. And the next thing you know, I could rent the gear out, and I was like, I can make money doing this. And the next thing you know, I got a warehouse full of gear, and my whole focus just went with running the lighting and audio company. And I've been a front of house engineer for Lacuna Coil for about the last 15 years now, and we were out with a band called King. I don't know if you heard of those guys. Are awesome, man. A great, great, great rock and roll band. And I remember the first second I heard those guys, I went running up from the dressing room, and I watched their set every day, and we became friends, and they were jamming in the dressing room one day and invited me to come jam with them. And right as soon as I picked up the guitar and started jamming with those guys, I knew like immediately like I got to get back into this. And I came home, and I wrote the EP. It was originally called Kings of Damnation before it was called Them Damn Kings. Our manager Adam actually helped renaming the band, and from there, Ryan, the drummer, he came out for the. I said, hey, we're getting somewhere with the CP. You want to come do drums on the album, because I did everything on the EP myself, and so Ryan came out, and we wrote the record and recorded it pretty quickly, and this is kind of where we're at right now. So it's just the idea was to just kind of come home and have fun and write something pretty cool, and now it's just everything's just kind of fallen into place.
Like with your background behind the scenes, you think it's gonna help with like your stage show and to make it better?
I mean, if we can, if we can ever get a gig, playing anything that's more than this big, and I still got a warehouse, full of gear, and we've designed a pretty kick-ass stage show, but when I don't think we're still at that particular level just yet where we're able to get the production out there, and not even so much a level, just the logistics and A lot of these places that book us up, man, they don't understand, that it takes hours and hours to set this shit up, man. So that's kind of run into a problem because we want to bring the show, man. I mean, we really, and not that we can't do it. I mean, the last gig we just did, I just went out there with a couple combo amps and cranked it up to 11, and it's it still works. I mean, we're just a dirty rock and roll band, man, and I think the people really just translate to our interaction and our vibe on the stage. But yeah, I'd love to have the production out there, and working with all the with some of the bands that I've worked with, I definitely have more of an understanding of how we can make it work and the ease of making it work. We just need to get to that uh, get to that level where we can make it work because we've done it a couple times when we brought out full production, and we'd advance with the venue, and obviously we show up, there's nobody there, we got 2 hours to get everything up and going, the lighting guys are running around pulling his hair out, the sound guys running around trying to get all the club stuff to work, man, and it was like, it was a great show, but it's more headache than it's worth right now. So we'll see what 2023 brings us, but I'm very much looking forward to bringing everything because I mean I got full. I actually went and I bought the I use Laney GH100 L heads, and I've got cabinets upon cabinets upon heads upon. I mean it's a whole entire trailer full of guitar heads and stacks, and so last we were out on the road and I found these little Laney combo amps that are basically the version of the almost a version of the GH100L. So I'm like, hey, why limit ourselves? So I bought a couple of those, and I'm like, hey, man, if somebody calls us up and wants to pay us to play a little tiny corner pub, we can go do that now. So it's because before we were dragging out, mounds and mounds. I mean, without the lighting production, I remember the last gig we we had played in Atlanta, we brought I tried to advance with the promoter. He's like, oh, I don't need any of that stuff. Don't worry. I'm like, all right, bro. We turn up with a trailer full of gear, and he's like, oh, where are we going to put that? How's this going to work? I'm like, man, don't worry. We got it down. But I tried to I tried to advance this with you, bro. Like I don't have to tell you. And meanwhile, and we had to cut it back that day too, but it's a lot of shit, man. you know. But the people don't understand. It's not really about I remember him too, like, oh, there's this big PA in here. You don't have to worry about. It's not about the volume, man. So I was saying to somebody the other day, like this is what I use, man. Like whether it be I can cut it down to a stack and a head. It's not a problem. I do run everything in stereo, but you try to stick me on an old Vox amp, man. I'm not going to play the same. It's not going to sound the same. It's not going to be right, and so it's I don't want to say it's important, man, but it's important. If you want us to come out and play and give us, us to give you the best, we there is certain things that we need to get done to make it happen, and it's just what I'm comfortable with, and I don't know. But the little combo amp sounds awesome, and we actually went back and played that same club, and he was that was great because he remembered the last time, so he made sure that all this space was in this and that. And I come walking in with this little combo amp. He's like, "Where's all the gear?" I bought this out on the road, man. I just got my guitar and a little combo. And he starts pulling his hair out again, like, "Geez, man! Like I made all this space for you." I told you it wasn't about volume, bro. It's about tone. It's this little Laney. I can play it right, man.
Where are you guys based out of? What city?
Well, right now, Savannah, Georgia. Um, I started this back up in New Jersey. I lived in Jersey basically all my life, and had a day off down in Savannah a couple years ago on a tour. I'd never seen the city, never been down here, and not to say I haven't been at the Masquerade a million times, but I've never been to the East Coast of Georgia. And man, I went out one night in the Savannah. I said, I love this. We got the end of the tour, went home, put the house up for sale, and I moved right down here. I haven't looked back since, man. I miss Jersey. I mean, I miss the pizza. Definitely miss the pizza, man. Like you can't get any good pizza down here, but the barbecue and the seafood's off the hook. So
I wanted to talk about a couple songs from your new album, Rise Up. It was released September 30th, 2022. And the first song is The Pill. You released it September 29th as a single. I love the artificial harmonics on this song. It's really awesome. And my favorite line in there is, "I can see right through your shit. I'm not that blind."
yeah, man. A lot of people have told me to lighten it up a little bit, man. But sometimes you just gotta throw the shit in there to get the word out, right? It's a good tune. Actually, the first one I think we released for the album was we got held up with the whole pandemic situation. I mean, the album came back from mastering about 3 days before we went into lockdown, and so our management saying, let's put the kibosh on this for a little bit and see what happens. And then maybe 6 months after that, we released "Throw It Away," and it did it did well. We ended up taking that one to radio, and I can't remember what we. I think we the NACC or the metal contract. I can't remember which one it was. The loud rock charts or whatever. But we ended up hitting number 4 on that one, which was really awesome and surprising. All right, we got the momentum, and still in lockdown, and finally, I just decided. I say, man, we've got to get this out because I'm already on a new project in my head, or sorry, not a new album in my head here, so yeah, we the next one we put out was "The Pill," and that's done really well, and people seem to be responding to it pretty good. And it's actually one of my favorite songs to play, and it's the first song that we open up with to our show. Um, yeah, it was a fun one to write. It came together very quickly for us, and sometimes when you just have what you have in your head, it just flows right out.
The second song I wanted to talk about is "Throw It Away." You released it October 28th, and in the chorus you sing, "Take every little thing you thought you knew, and then you throw it away." It's like you just erase the past and start fresh, or is that what you were trying to say?
It's funny, man. Normally, like when I'll write a song, I'll come up with the riff and then I'll start working on the lyrics to it just to see how it's gonna work or how it's gonna fit. And "Throw It Away" was, I think, the first song written for the album. And man, I just could not come up with lyrics to save my life for it. And it's funny. It's the only one that I still struggle live to sing because I just can't find their lyrics are so simple and so easy, man. But I struggle to find the words in my head when I'm doing it because to me, when I wrote it, it was so kind of rushed with the lyrics and everything, and I didn't even know what I was trying to say with it. And it's funny because a lot of people come back to me and they're like, "Oh man, that song's amazing! Like, this is what it means to me." And that it was about that moment I really realized like I needed to shut my fucking mouth, man. Like, if the song means something to you, that's great. And a lot of people ask me like, "Oh, what does this song, mean? What's it about?" And my response now. Um, is it's whatever you want it to be about. I don't want to influence your decision on how that song made you feel or what it means to you because And I've seen it, with Lacuna and all those. I'll see fans come up to somebody, come up to somebody in the band and like, this song saved my life, and this, and that's great, but we'll kind of have a little chuckle because it's like the song has nothing to do with anything like that, and it may be the opposite, but you know what? That's what that person got out of it, and but for me, it is kind of more of a um, yeah, kind of a letting all your bullshit and your fears go. I guess when I had it in my head, I was thinking more of like just the beginning of this, where I ran into the King guys, and they really heavily influenced me on starting a band again, and and you just kind of got to get all that crap out of your head and get it out the window, and just go for it, just do it, man. Don't worry about what the hell's going on, and if you're feeling a certain way inside, get rid of it, just do it.
I wondered if you could tell me about the Jef Rhodes industry hacks.
Man, some, sometimes alcohol can be an interesting influence, man. Like I I I, I got I got a new camera. I got one of my only camera aside from my little iPhone, and I've been trying to play around with filming more stuff. And I thought it would just be, I don't know where the idea came, but I was looking at something with Kim Kardashian. It kept popping up on my feed, and I just wanted to throw my damn phone out the window. And I'm like, man, that'd be fun to make fun of that bitch somehow. But I, 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 I more or less, it's funny. Um, obviously Zach Wild's a big influence of mine, and he's one of the people I've actually never met yet. And we've been in the same room probably 20 times, 2 feet away from each other. I go to say hi, and somebody will grab my attention real quick. I'll turn around, and the guy's gone, man. He's like a fucking ghost. So I don't know. There's a part in there where I dial up Zach, and he punches me. Then he's got that whole punch thing, and I just wanted to play around with silly little things, man. And I like doing little comedy bits like that. And I'm working on a couple more, but it's hard to get motivated to start filming around here, man. This house is always chaos. It's like the missus is running around. Now we got Christmas time, and that's how I was late getting here. I'm like, oh, she dragged me out shopping today, and I'm like, I got an interview. I got to get back. I got to get back. So, and it helps when the guys are here too, man. They really kind of bring out the idiot in me.
Okay. What do you guys got planned for 2023?
Well, we're already working on the new record. We're going to start recording that in the beginning of February. Ryan he should be coming out the first week of February. Lay down all the drums. We've got most of it written already. We're shooting to put it out in April on Earache Digital again. And hopefully from there we can start getting a little bit more push behind it and get out there and start getting back out on tour. And so that's really kind of the focus for 2023 is just leaving all this last 2 years behind here, man, and really trying to push forward. I feel like for us, it's always been, one step forward, two steps back. It's like we're finally doing a record, and hey, man, the whole entire world's on lockdown. I mean, it's always, man, always something. But that's I think our main goal next year is to just get out there and play absolutely as much as we possibly can. Get this record done for April, get that out into the world, so we'll have a bit more material to go out there with, and then we'll see what 2023 brings, and you know, hopefully we can get a good run out of it and get back in the studio. For 2024. Because for me, man, I'd love to just keep putting out a record a year. You get a lot of these guys will do a record, and they'll do a single and a single and a single, and the more our managers always say, just don't worry about records, just do a single. Well, fuck, I'd rather have a catalog of 200 songs and 15 albums than just putting out a single every 6 months. It doesn't work for me.
Where can we get a hold of you guys? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
Everywhere, man. I mean, YouTube is great. In fact, if be very helpful to us if you get up to YouTube and subscribe there, because they don't allow you to make any sort of money until you got a certain amount of subscribers and watch hours. But you can head to our website, www.themdamnkings.com. Everything else, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, is all at Them Damn Kings. And you can find us all everywhere, man. Spotify, Amazon Music, and any of your favorite listening channels. You can definitely find us, or hit us up and order up a hard copy of the record, man. We've still got the hard copies, and that's much appreciated. Or come out to one of the shows and pick one up.
That's all the questions I have. Thanks for coming on the show today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Man, thank you for having me, and I just want to thank everybody out there for listening and helping us grow this band. Because without you guys and without the fans, man, we're nothing. We're just sitting in here, a bunch of guys who like music, but so I just thank everybody for supporting us.
Like you can't pretend all